So my name is Dr. Jetling Ellosa. I am running a YouTube channel called as a Law Speeches. I request you to subscribe to my channel to get the updates in the law and also in current affairs around the world. So today in the series of my lectures, I am delivering the part second of the public international law that be called as the law of the peace. So whatever we discuss onwards that be called as a law of the peace principles. And today's class I am dealing with the nature of the state and different kinds of states and non-state entities. So a state is a very important element in the international law. Without that there is no law, because as you know that international law deals with the in between the states. So we have to know what is meant by state. For that we have to go to a definition rendered by the famous British jurist Salmond. He says, I quote here, state is a community of people which has been established for the some objectives such as internal order and external security. He says, if we analyze, he says that state is nothing but it is a community of people established for the purpose of internal order and external security. And in case of another famous jurist, the Oppenheim, he defined the state in these words: the existence of the state is possible only when the people of the state have settled under a highest government authority and habitually follow its order. So, he says that it is an order people have to obey under a single authority. That is the inner meaning of this Oppenheim definition. Then we discuss what is meant by state? Here I am referring to state means not a province in a country. Here a state means a country itself, like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Canada, United States of America, Australia, Congo, South Africa, Brazil. So these are our states. They are formed by having certain qualifications. So having certain essential elements. For that, we have to go to the Article 1 of the Montevideo Convention of 1933, very important convention in the international sphere is concerned. The convention says that the state as a person of international law should possess 4 ingredients. So what are those means? Those include number 1, a permanent population, number 2, a defined territory, number 3, a government, and finally a capacity to enter into relation with either states. So these are the primary things which one should be there to be called as a state. Either one of them is missing, then that element cannot be called as a state. You take an example. Whether moon could be called as a state? If you apply this definition, no. Why? Because the territory is there, maybe definite territory is there, but it is lacking the people. And also there is a moon is not a control of any single state. There is no government. In addition to that, there is no sovereignty of a state is existing upon the moon. Because moon is declared as a common heritage of mankind. Every state in the world has a right to have the access to moon, have the benefits of the moon. It is not a exclusive property of some states, though advanced countries like USA, Russia, and some other countries, China, they have landed upon the moon. Even India is also made an effort by Chandrayaan 1. It went to up to the nearness of the moon. So that does not mean that flag of the USA is floating there in the moon, so it belongs to USA is not there because it is not a state. It is a common heritage of mankind, like Antarctica, Arctic regions. So these are the common heritages of mankind. There, if you apply, there may be territories there, people are not there. There is no sovereignty, no government. So to apply this, we have the four elements should be there as per the Montevideo Convention. If either one of the element is missing, then that entity cannot be called as a state. Then next we discuss the function of the states. Functions of the state. So functions of the state are various functions because states are different in nature, different in geographical nature, political nature, societal nature. So the functions also are indifferent. Basically, the main function of the state, whether whatever state it is, maybe a democratic state, a communistic state, a aristocratic state, a dictatorship state, whatever it may be, it should have to maintain internal security. That is the main function of the state. And it should have coexistence with the other states. It should coexist with other states. Because we are interdependent upon each other. As you know that world became a global village. Something happened here in India, it would have effect upon the other part of the globe, in USA or Canada. And something happens there, it would have effect upon in Africa. If something happens, famine or something floods happens in Africa, it would affect upon India. So we are interlinked. So functions of the state basically to maintain harmony, peace and internal security. Discuss the concept of the sovereignty. So what is meant by sovereignty? Sovereignty in simply it means supreme power of a state is called as a sovereignty or sovereign power. And the supreme power emanates from the Constitution of India. The people, if you refer to our Constitution of India, there in the preamble, the word sovereignty is mentioned. Because we were under subjugation of the foreign rulers and for 250 years and we got the independence and we declared ourselves as a sovereign democratic republic, secular republic. So in words of the world famous jurist Max Weber, he defined the sovereignty, and I quote here, sovereignty in relation between the states signifies independence. Independence in regard to a portion of the globe is the right to exercise therein to the exclusion of other states functions of a state. So he says that a complete independence of a state is be called as a sovereignty. Without independence, there is no sovereignty, in simple words. And another famous, the philosopher Jean Bodin, in 1576, he wrote a outstanding book that be called as the title of the name of the book is the De Republic, in which he stated that sovereignty means making of a law for ourselves is called as a sovereignty. There is no external authority which is dictating us. We ourselves is deciding what to do or what not to do. That may be called as a sovereignty. And in a very famous case which is happened, which reported in India, that is a Union of India versus Sukumar Sen Gupta, the then Chief Justice of India, Sabyasachi Mukherjee. The case is reported, All India Reporter, 1990, Supreme Court, 1962, page number 1701, in which the then Supreme Court of India, Justice Sabyasachi Mukherjee, has stated that he accepted the definition given by the Stark, the another world famous international jurist. He added that sovereignty means any state in modern time has to acknowledge and accept the customary restraints on its sovereignty in as much as no state can exist independently and without reference to other states. So, in use of sovereignty, the state cannot interfere into the others' issues. And the states have to follow certain restraint policies. Because sovereignty is there, I am the supreme, I can do anything, is not permitted to the states. So they have to restrain themselves. So that is the basic matter added by the in this judgment.